Carter.
Took a commercial flight to Washington, D.C.
And shook everyone's
And shook
hand.
everybody's hand.
And that just shows you life for presidents can get humbled pretty quickly.
Yeah.
They
But that's
retain.
been his thing since day one. He's always been the humble
Yeah,
guy.
flew on
Yes,
a
he
commercial
has
jet
been.
yesterday, and this is his. Again, we mentioned earlier that when you are a dignitary like a former president, every 4 years you have a seat reserved for you on the west steps of the United States Capitol building, as long as you want it. Not in attendance today, George Herbert Walker Bush, who's been in the hospital battling pneumonia, as now we see some of the departures from the White House. The former First Lady, the new First Lady, Melania Trump and Mrs. Obama.
And so we're expecting, of course,
Yes.
President Obama and President-elect Donald Trump to be right behind them. They had coffee. They've probably been in there
Yes.
for, I would say, about an hour.
About
or
an
so.
hour, and when they arrived, Melania Trump presenting Michelle Obama with a gift. We all took note that it was a great big Tiffany's box.
Some people have been surprised. Yeah, you took note, especially. It was a Tiffany box. Some people have been surprised at the relationship between Donald Trump and President Obama post-election. The first meeting is expected to last about 10 minutes. It ended up lasting over an hour and a half. They have, according to reports, routinely spoken to each other throughout this transition period. So perhaps this isn't as awkward as you might think, although there has to be a little bit of awkwardness as we see the two vice presidents, Joe Biden and Mike Pence, making their way out. And behind them momentarily will, of course, be the presidents. Joe Biden, so much focus on what does he do next. And Mike Pence, a clear leader in this Trump administration.
Well, the guy with the political background. I mean, that's the thing. The
Yeah.
criticism for many for Trump has been he doesn't have any experience in politics, and a good reason why he brought Mike Pence on board, don't you think, Joe?
And Pence is going to be someone at Capitol Hill routinely working with senators, working with members of the House on this Obamacare repeal and replacement plan. You'll see a lot of Mike Pence over these next 4 years. But as the military guards do their salute, the men of the hour are about to come through those doors on the north portico of the White House in Washington.
And you talk about the fact that some might be surprised that there's a little bit of a relationship here between President Obama and President-elect Trump because it's been contentious. But look at former presidents, the Bushes and the Clintons, who didn't always see eye to eye. I think that is an understatement. They have become very tight because there are only 45 people in this world who have the distinction of being the president of our country.
It is an exclusive club and a lonely club, being president of the United States, and here they are, our president-elect Donald Trump and Barack Obama.
Donald Trump in a red tie today, Barack Obama in a blue tie today as they get in what is known as the Beast in Washington. This limousine is pretty much a tank on wheels as they make their way up. They could get to the Capitol in just minutes, but what you'll see here is the motorcade take a very leisurely, slow procession down Pennsylvania Avenue as they make their way. We're still an hour away from the official inauguration, so they have some time to kill, if you will, as they make their way to the United States Capitol building, as now that will be the car of Donald Trump for the next 4 years.
And Joe, do you notice, as we saw when they entered the White House after coming from the church service earlier, the body language, it's clearly a priority that they want to convey the peaceful transfer of power.
And it does make you wonder, what is Obama feeling? He lived in this house. This was his car for 8 years. What does he do next?
It's when you sell that old car and you feel nostalgic about it, right?
He's thinking about so many men,
and here we go. This is what is going through her mind this morning, right? The woman who won nearly the presidency, won close to 3 million more votes than Donald Trump, there today as a former First Lady. Cameras, so much on her, you can see her almost doing a deep breath as she prepares to walk onto the west steps of the United States Capitol building. Bill Clinton, the nation's 42nd president of the United States, as they make their way down. It has to have been such an emotionally trying past few months. She thought this was hers going into Election Day, but it's not the scene today as from the north lawn of the White House they began their departure. We'll continue our live coverage here on Fox 31 in Good Day, Colorado, a historic day in our nation's history.